STEFAN SCHOTT is an economist with academic background. He has worked in leading positions for large European foundations for more than 10 years. STEFAN began his professional career as a TV journalist, reporting for different German news programs. After an intermediate engagement as a strategy consultant for the Boston Consulting Group, he changed to PR. In 2011, he was nominated Senior Vice President for Communications at Robert Bosch Foundation, one of the largest private foundations in Germany. In April 2021, STEFAN changed to Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom to become County Director for East Africa and head of the Global Partnership Hub. Since August 2021, STEFAN has lived in Nairobi and set up the new FNF office in Kenya. And now, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome to GPAD 2021, STEFAN SCHOTT.
Thank you. Welcome, Stefan. Eine Sekunde nochmal. Timmy would like to give you a warm welcome as well, and the speakers. Personal welcome, Timmy. O'Shea.
Thank you. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us here again this morning. And thank you to also our guest speakers are already here to help us with the topic that we have to treat today. So I want to welcome everyone joining us from all over the globe. Thank you for joining GPAD once again this morning. We had a great time yesterday, and I'm very, very sure that today will even be better. Thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you, Timmy. O'Shea. Stefan, the mic is yours. Herzlich willkommen.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to speak at your wonderful conference. As you've heard in this very impressive little video, my name is Stefan SCHOTT, and I'm the new project director of Friedrich Naumann Foundation for East Africa and for the so-called Global Partnership Hub. And I'll tell you a bit more about this hub in a few moments. First of all, I would like to say some words about Friedrich Naumann Foundation, which maybe not everybody is familiar with. Friedrich Naumann Foundation is an organizational independent foundation, but it feels connected to the Free Democratic Party in Germany, the FDP. And like all the other sister political foundations, Friedrich Naumann Foundation is financed from funds of the German taxpayers. The headquarters of Friedrich Naumann Foundation is in Potsdam, but we also have offices in the other German federal states and in more than 40 countries. And these offices in these 40 countries oversee the project work in more than 60 countries worldwide. So I think it's fair to say that Friedrich Naumann Foundation is really active on a global scale. What makes a political foundation like Friedrich Naumann Foundation special, and what differentiates us from other foundations? I think the answer is very simple. We are actually more political. What does that mean? That means we are, wherever it's possible, working together with political parties. We try to support them, qualify their managers, establish efficient structures, and do especially consulting. But we are also active in the field of political analysis and concepts that we feed in the political debate in Germany, but also in other parts of the world. And we also have visiting programs, scholarship programs, and all the instruments that many other foundations use. So to summarize, we always say that we are working in this pre-political field. In terms of content, we focus on the liberal values, functioning democracy. That is something that is really a core goal for us, but also rule of law, good governance, free trade, entrepreneurship, and very much human rights and the empowerment of women and girls. So these are our core topics we deal with in the different countries where we're active in. To come to our activities in Africa, we have 7 offices in sub-Saharan Africa, in Johannesburg and Cape Town, in Harare, Abidjan and Dakar, in Dar es Salaam and Nairobi, and Dar es Salaam and Nairobi together make the East Africa office that I'm responsible for. Before I go into our work here in the new Nairobi office, I would like to say some sentences about the development in Africa as we see it in general. Even before Corona, the picture was not uniform and sometimes contradictory in itself. Many countries in sub-Saharan Africa have gone through an astonishing phase of growth. And there often is a growing middle class, and there are lively cities with well-educated young people and a very dynamic startup culture. And we try in our project to support that. At the same time, hunger is again a growing problem, and the number of people suffering from food shortage after declining for several years, now this positive trend has unfortunately turned to negative again, and that even before Corona. And also in the field of human rights, there have been some setbacks that we regret. I only have to mention the situation in Ethiopia. The Corona situation, as we see it, is also a mixed picture. Here in Kenya and in some other African countries, the figures are low. Here in Kenya, only 0.5% of the tests, the Corona tests, are currently positive, and even the Corona wards in the big hospitals are more or less empty. However, the country is preparing for a big vaccination campaign to prepare for the Christmas season, as I think people are worried that this holiday season, when everybody is going home to his family, that could be a major spreading event and cause a new wave of Corona. So I think it's the low figures at the moment are not a signal that Corona is really over here in the country. There are some results from scientists that looked at the antibodies and found even in the slums of Nairobi antibodies at like 70% of the population. This is not because of vaccination, but obviously the infection has gone through this area, and many people didn't even notice because they are young and healthy and with a well-trained immune system. But yeah, it's even there. It's okay at the moment, but the danger is not over. And from South Africa and Zimbabwe, we are seeing rising Corona figures there, and both countries are preparing for a new wave. And just today, I think we all read about this new version of the coronavirus that's spreads out in South Africa, and this is really a reason to worry and to pay attention. So now let me come to what Friedrich Naumann Foundation is actually doing in East Africa, and I think it's best to give you some examples of our work and how we work. That gives you a lively picture. In Tanzania, we work together with the partner party. As I said, this is something that is part of our core activities worldwide. And our partner in Tanzania is ACT Wazalendo, a party that is mainly strong on Zanzibar. We just did a training for this party. A very experienced trainer of our foundation worked together with 20 leaders of that party on a strategy for the next years, the years up to the next elections. And they discussed what topics the party should address, how they should organize themselves, how they will prepare and conduct a campaign for these elections. And at the end, they really came out with a very detailed plan with clear responsibilities. And so this is kind of typical how we work together with political partners. But I want to make one point very clear. We don't give them the content of their political program. The content is something that they have to come up with, but we help them with experience, with methods, and to make their political ideas into to turn that into a working political strategy and political work. So, I think we have been quite successful, and this party has been quite successful in the last elections. In Kenya, we don't have a political partner party like that. That's because of the simple fact that political parties in Kenya are less defined by a political program. They are more defined by the candidates they are supporting, and sometimes the political program changes over time. So there is no liberal profile over a certain period of time connected with the party that we would say, okay, this we can rely on when we work with them on a long-term basis. Yeah, maybe some words on our work to promote human rights. A good example for that is a project we have been doing for some time now in northern Tanzania, in the Kilimanjaro region. It's a project against gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is a problem in many countries, and so it is also in northern Tanzania. And what we are doing there is we are educating women and girls about their rights, and also about contact persons and offers where they can get help if they encounter a situation of gender-based violence. Actually, there are offers of help for these cases, and partly even the police offers that, but the knowledge about it is not really spread. So we try to do that. We even work together with police force there, and we also included traditional leaders of that area into this project, because we think it's key that they know about it and support this work on this important issue. Yeah, wherever it's possible, we try to include innovative digital solutions in our work. As I said, we come from the liberal political spectrum, and so we think that technology is more a solution. We believe in free markets and entrepreneurship, and one example of what that means in our project work, I can tell you about a project we do with our partner IRON, Interregional Economic Network here in Kenya. They developed an app that helps farmers to bring their products to the market and get a fair price for their products. This also shows that we are trying to always to have this pilot character in our projects. So if this works in a specific region, we try to find ways to spread that and to roll that out to other regions, and at least to make the results available for others to pick them up and work with that and adopt that for their specific conditions in their regions. And at the same time, that's also important, we try to incorporate our learnings into political messages and also input for development cooperation policies in Europe. So we think that this increases the impact of our work a lot when we not only have the immediate impact on the ground at the spot, but also a kind of systemic input on this political level. And this leads me to the Global Partnership Hub that is really completely new. But it's part of a new development, or a rather new development within Friedrich Naumann Foundation. Some years ago, the foundation decided to combine its regional structure with these 40 offices worldwide with a more content based structure. So we now have a department in Berlin that works on these global issues, and we also have at the moment 4 hubs that are located in different offices worldwide, and they work there, but they deal with this topic for the whole foundation on a global scale. So there's a hub in Washington that deals with global order and free trade. There's a hub in Brussels that deals with peace and security policy. There's a hub in Taipei on innovation and cybersecurity. And the newest hub I have the honor to set up here in Nairobi, dealing with development cooperation. And actually, our board has just taken the decision that we will set up a 5th hub on human rights. It's not decided where that will be. So the Global Partnership Hub is intended to bring ideas and concepts into the debate of specialists and also the debate on the political level from the perspective of the Global South. That's why it has been set up in Nairobi. But our target groups are not only in the Global South, but especially also in the Global North, to have hopefully a positive impact on development policy that is designed there. We will work on different levels. We've decided to work on macro level, to analyze and to write political policy papers, to become a voice in the debate on development policy. But we also want to work on a micro level, supporting specific projects on site here in Africa and in other regions of the Global South, and to deliver something that you could call a proof of concept for certain ideas of development policy, and to see if these concepts are feasible, if they work, and what maybe has to be adopted. And as we think, when we can feed back the experiences from this work into the political debate in the North, this also can add value to political debate there. As I said, the Global Partnership Hub is still under construction. We have some first products in the pipeline, but it's too early to talk about that. However, I would like to invite all of you to send me an email with your contact details, and we'll definitely have regular information about where the hub stands and what it's doing and producing later on. And I would be happy to share this information with you. Just send me an email and if you're interested in that. So far for the moment, thank you very much for listening and for your interest in what we are doing. If you have any questions on the work of Friedrich Naumann Foundation, of what we are doing in Africa or on the hub, I am happy to answer those questions.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Stefan. Danke sehr. Perhaps we could have your the email that people can send an email to, perhaps for your office, or so that they can sign up there in the chat. And I think people have asked for your contact already in the chat, so that will be helpful in that sense.
Friedrich Naumann Foundation has really nice email addresses. So it's stefan.schott@freiheit.org. for the non-German speakers, Freiheit is freedom. So stefan.schott@freiheit.org.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll write that in the chat if someone could help us with that. Thank you, Stefan. And